Alden McLean and the Coca-Cola incident.
And there we go.
How my mother wrote off my best friends.
So she would just say, no, that's it. And
No, that's it. No, you're given every chance. He
Yeah.
did that. That's beyond common sense, whatever. He
so
broke
how'd
the
you
rules.
handle that at school? Say, well, my mom won't let me
Oh,
talk
he
to you.
knew. He knew. He was done. He was
Oh.
bad. Right? And that was the end of it. Right? He would no, my mother, you wouldn't argue with her. If
Yeah.
they knew my mother, and when she spoke. My mother's the one who some kids started to beat up on me, and I wasn't allowed to beat up back. So she went there to the front door on Cherry Drive, pounded on the woman's door, and said, "Your son was, pounding my kid, right? My kid's not allowed to pound back, but by the God I am, and I'll beat the little living crap out of that little piece of shit. So you better have a long talk with him." And she left. That was the end of it. No more incident. No more problem with that kid. My mother went to the rescue. My father would never go to any of that. All right? She diffused that completely. And it was a good way to do it when you think about it, right? She said, well, he's not allowed to fight, but I am, and I'll beat the crap out of her. My 5'2" mother. So that was the end of that.
Wow.
I remember that happened more than once.
So what was the name of your street?
Slayter.
Slayter Street.
Slayter, Slayter Street. Darryl was 57, I was 63.
And the other street you just mentioned,
Cherry Drive, it was just over the hill.
Just
where
over.
we played hockey, and then the Carroll's house where they moved,
Yeah.
they almost looked across the Cherry Drive, and that was a little, ours was an east-west street, so that Cherry Drive was a north-south street. And the guy who lived across the street from where my mom and dad, or where my mother went down and admonished their child's behavior, they had a beautiful 63 Mercury Matador. A bright red one. Ah, it was a beautiful car. We remember that fondly. No, it was actually a 65. It was 65. 63 was the other body style. It was the sleek body style. And that car had presence, a Mercury Matador. We saw one at the car show. Red one, and then the back window was all painted black, and the back deck, right? Those are my memories of Cherry Drive. And somebody had a paper route, and we used to help that person on their paper route, right? Mainly because you got up close to see some of the nice cars.
Yeah.
Nice 62 Thunderbird. And a guy with a Mercedes who used the oil fuel in his car illegally, right?
So how was, did you have a paper route when you were a kid or not?
No way.
No.
No, mother wouldn't allow that.
No? Why?
Why? What would my father say? You'll go to work soon enough. Don't want you working now. My dad didn't like that at all. When I told you, when I worked at the A&W, and I was 15 or 16, 15 probably, 14, can't remember. Yeah, it must have been 15. Then my dad showed up at the A&W, they were going on vacation. He just took me out of the kitchen and told the guy, we're taking our son now, and we left. And we went on vacation. And that was it. You'll have time to work later. But I always had the work ethic, so my father was, nope, that wasn't you. Got time to work later. And I made all my money waxing cars and cleaning people's kitchens and painting fences. And
that's what I was going to ask you. How
I had
did
to
you
keep
make
busy.
the spare change?
at $5 a wax job, and I had them waiting, and my mother advertised at the bridge club because they played bridge, right? And
Oh, so you charge $5 for
$5 a car all day. We had the car all day,
Wow.
the whole day, and we did a real wax job where you polished the car, then you sealed it. The old way was Simonized. Oh, you had you had good biceps when you're done with that. And the car was done with love. The longer it was there, just to touch a car and romance it. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Oh, those were the glory days. And $5 by an LP. And
That's, yeah.
And they buy your car
And you were getting $5
now we're
back
getting
then.
$5. Yeah, I didn't
If
move
you said
up.
$1 for the
No,
wax
no,
job, but
$5.
$5 back
Yeah,
then, $5
that's child labor, 8 hours. And if they were real nice, you got to drive the car back. Oh, bonus. Bonus. That was good. I did Wildcats. I went to a dance school. My mother didn't like how I was unromantic women, so she thought I should learn to dance. And the dance school was the end of the street, and the woman there had a Peugeot 404, right? And then, of course, my mother or me, I can't remember which, then her car ended up at my house, and it was getting the daytime fax job, right? And a 64 or 63 Buick Wildcat, $5. That was like 10 Peugeots. And they were lacquer-based paint, a lot of them. And when you did a job like that, man, did it! Oh, it had bling. Those cars, that was when you stood back, you were God. They looked so good. And most of them are just a year or two old at the most, 3 years, those cars then, right?
So
And
that's
threw
when
them away.
you already learned what a good paint job on a car was
Oh yeah,
at a very young age.
you want to know our car, you wash and wax. And I did the interior, and they would get mad because the car wouldn't be ready on time. But when they saw it, they'd shut up. There was a lot of love that went in it. It wasn't to make money, it was to be able to touch and caress the cars that you drove. There were many cars, right? And there was a fellow named Fritz, and he had a beautiful 65 Chev Impala 4-door with the 6 taillights on the back deck. And Fritz was fussy as hell, and nobody ever touched his car. His car showed up. That was the ultimate. I was allowed to polish Fritz's car, right? Not drive it. You didn't drive Fritz's car, but that was my best ever. Fritz let me do his car. He was a cranky bugger. He worked with my dad at work. And my dad's car was always shined and good, so I guess Fritz asked him, how come your car looks so good? My dad forgot what it was like to wash and wax a car. When I left, he went, my God, the car gets dirty, Gene, look. Couldn't believe it. Our beautiful 65 Falcon. That car had a wax job every 3 weeks, boy. And we took the Humbrol paint out and popped all the full disc hubcaps that looked like pretend mags, and I painted all the wheel edges red. And then that went with the red stripe on the side of the car.
Oh, that's why you.
Oh, it didn't get better than that. Did it?
Yeah, that's why you
Yeah.
really enjoy this new style that's
That's
come up.
right, yeah. If you can put red on it, oh, wow. And that was often done in the 50s, right? And the whole wheel to be red, but we weren't wasting Humbrol on the whole wheel. Just that.
Yeah.
And my dad, he may not have liked that, but he knew he better shut up. He gets his car waxed and cleaned. Right? His car looked good. There was many arguments over the car. Right? My mother would get impatient with him. I'd be having a hot date, and I'd want to use the car. And then, of course, he's not going to make it easy. Well, I don't know. I might be busy. I might be taking it to work then. I might be doing that. I don't know yet. And I'd be trying to line up a hot date, my 13 women or whatever, right? And then my mother be in the next room, and then she couldn't take listening to this anymore, and she'd jump into the room and go, oh, for God's sake, Sparky, just say yes or no, right? And they go, oh, okay, then you can have it on Friday or whatever. You wouldn't let me put gas in it.
So that's the payback when your mother would be exaggerating and your dad would say.
That was the common exchange, oh, for God's sake.
So that's when they would check each other.
The yin and yang.
The yin and yang.
Yeah. They both had it coming and they both knew it, right?
Yeah.
Oh, my dad, he wouldn't.
I was wondering about that, like what was. Okay, so
when I was 19 years old, then we're sitting in the living room like you and I are now, and my father's sitting where you are, and then I'm discussing my future with my father. This is the man who, when I grew my hair long, got mad at me and was very upset because I was looking like a hippie, right? And I looked my father straight in the eye and I said, you should be so lucky that the only thing you have to complain about is the length of my hair. Can't you do something better than that? And he looked me right back in the eye and he went, you're right. And that was the end of it. No discussion. I was a good boy and he knew it. And he wasn't going to get away with that. That was the same man when I got married. And I was bringing my unmarried woman across Canada in a Volkswagen. And we had to sleep in separate bedrooms in the house. My father. And then I questioned my dad on it. So we sat like this when I was 21 years old, 22. And I go, what do you think we did? We brought 2 tents across Canada, for Christ's sake? I can't sleep with the woman's going to be my wife soon. He went, oh, you're right. I know that's true. Yeah, everything you said is right, but can't you do it just for me? And I went, okay, I'll give in. Right? So I gave in, but he said, no, he was wrong. That was how he felt strongly about that, and if I would honor that. So I honored my father and said, okay, but long as we clarified that he knew that we may have had physical contact on those 5 days across Canada. And that was a funny moment with my father, right? My mother was hearing this and winking at me, going, good. Should always have sex first. Good boy.